Welcome to our first breakdown of Clone Wars Season 7 on Disney Plus, streaming right now. It's Star Wars. It's new Star Wars.
Yeah, Clone Wars saved.
That's so nice when there's just new Star Wars.
It's amazing.
It's like one of those things you just take for granted sometimes. I think I said this for the first episode of Mandalorian. And then when it comes out, you're like, God damn.
We're adding to the canon right now. We're building this shit up.
And this again, this is the shit. Not that Mandalorian wasn't, but this is the stuff that we've been asking for so long. Again, more stuff that we didn't get to see in the prequels. And that's what Clone Wars gave us for 6 seasons. It never really had a very satisfying ending. Kind of got canceled because the whole moving on to Disney with Lucasfilm and things changed over. Filoni did Rebels. Now he gets a chance to wrap the story up and really take, because it eventually, like, it's got to wrap at some point.
Yeah.
It's not a show that can just go on forever.
Nope.
And so they've reached a point. It's going to have, I imagine, a pretty awesome, satisfying wrap. Filoni did tease that. So
I think so as well. Everything about this episode, which we're about to get into, felt bigger, badder than the rest of Clone Wars. It felt like the conclusion. It felt like we're finally coming to the end of this massive journey.
So off the top, did you like the new animation style? Because
loved it.
Animation's very updated.
Yeah. Way better than what we're used to in the Clone Wars, and it was just, like, gorgeous. Like I said, it felt bigger.
They're crisp. Like, they have this crisp look to them, and it looks great. It sounds great. It just felt right.
Score,
everything, 4K,
like
too, if you have a 4K TV.
I don't, but the shots, the sweeping shots that begin the episode, like the ships flying in, everything like that, really, really good.
Star Wars Reddit people noted, too, that, like, just the time period now, it's been, like, 6. How many years has it been? 6?
For what, the Clone Wars itself? I think the Clone Wars was only 3 years.
No, since the last season.
Oh, 6 years,
6.
Yeah.
They said,
6,
like,
7,
you can tell by how many more battle droids and clone troop, like, every shot is more, like, in depth. Yeah. Like, you can just tell there's more there because, like, we
They're
just
like,
had...
copy and paste that. Yeah. We fucking got the computer for it now.
We can do that now. I want to note something, though. There were unfinished episodes of this series, and it involved the Bad Batch, a lot of other things. There are definitely spoilers that you can get into, because they're definitely using some of what they did. This is not an exact copy, I believe, of the unfinished version, but there are some story elements that, if you start looking into the unfinished Season 7 stuff from years ago...
Which they put out, because they thought they were never getting a Season 7.
Yeah, you may have it spoiled. So I would say we're not going to talk about them.
I'm not even going to look into it myself, because I read it years ago, but I forgot it, and I don't want to know.
I agree. So we're not going to talk about it. We won't talk about the unfinished stuff because it can be spoilers. So eventually it's gonna deviate from that, and it'll be completely different. But there will be spoilers in here if you haven't seen the episode, so just warning ahead. So let's start it out. The opening title card, a little bit of a interesting thought for a rather toxic fandom, Star Wars. Says, embrace others for their differences, for that makes you whole. Interesting.
Yeah, that's typical Clone Wars, is like, be nice to people.
Yep. And I mean, Filoni, I would say for the most part, Filoni's one of the most well-liked people involved with Star Wars.
You're not going to find a single person that has any bad word to say about him.
Just an awesome dude, cowboy hat and all. I just don't take the cowboy hat off. It's weird.
Nope.
You got to just leave the cowboy hat on.
Yep.
It's always so strange when you see him with the hat off.
Yeah, he's just a cowboy hat guy.
It opens up with the battle for ANAXES, which is a planet that we have not seen, sort of. So this was a planet that was going to be in Season 7 had they continued. It's the home of the shipyard for the Republic. We have seen it in Rebels. It was an asteroid field in Rebels. It was blown up.
Oh, wow.
I imagine we see this planet get blown up at some point. But yeah, it was an asteroid field in Rebels.
So that makes sense that it's the shipyard, because that shot we saw in the trailer of all the Star Destroyers, that was like at the end of the big first trailer. Got to be on that planet.
Yeah, so you got to think this thing is going to get blown up in Clone Wars, because otherwise, when are we going to see it? Again, home of the Republic shipyard. Very cool, like, glass planet. Salt has, like, this red shrubbery and trees and stuff, but it has a very similar glass look to Crate from Last Jedi.
I love the colorful planets in Star Wars. Like, I think it's called Fallujah, right?
Yeah,
I love Fallujah.
Fallujah.
It's where the Twi'lek Jedi gets killed in Order 66.
Covered it up. It's a little too brutal for kids.
Yeah. Really, really, really cool planet. Cool stuff.
Neat planet. Just hearing, like, the ship crash and hearing the glass, ice, or whatever it is crack, it just sounds awesome. It's like Crate in The Last Jedi. It has that very similar, like, salt glass type look to it.
Yep.
We get, again, our first look at that planet. We've seen it in some unfinished stuff, so it was going to always be explored in Season 7. Admiral Trench. Big ass spider looking.
Hate this guy. Always.
Guy can't die.
Always have hated him. Hate him now.
unkillable.
I just can't look at spiders. Even that fucking spider that's the boss in Monsters Inc. freaks me out.
Well, he's a very similar.
Very
Trent,
similar, yeah.
Trent obviously is a lot half human, half
like
robot at this point.
Yeah.
He survived so many. How this guy? He's one of the most durable characters in Star Wars lore.
He's gonna get down to General Grievous status, where like the only thing he has are like little organs on the inside and his eyes.
Half his head is robotic, cybernetic, and half of his arm as well. He is leading the Separatist army in this attack. It's going pretty well for the Separatists.
Yeah.
They got a bit of a leg up, and that leads to a meeting on the planet with Mace Windu, Anakin, Commander Cody, and Rex. And they're talking about like this is getting worse and worse. And Rex says the thing is like these are all my battle plans.
Yeah.
And it's seeming as though they're predicting and they're guessing everything. But he notes, and this is like baseball shit. They use the word analytics in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I like shot at my team like, oh my god, analytics. It's money, Star Wars Moneyball, basically. They talks about like only 2 people had that algorithm. One of them was Fives, who we know died. We did a catch-up video, by the way. If you want to catch up on all Star Wars Clone Wars stuff, a refresher, do that. We talked about Fives for a little bit because Fives is the clone trooper who kind of uncovers the chip in clones' heads that will be activated when the Emperor or Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith says, execute Order 66. So we know Fives is dead.
Yep.
Like for sure dead.
Big dead.
Echo,
Commander Fox killed him.
Yes. Yeah, your guy, Commander Fox.
Sad.
Echo never was confirmed. They never confirmed Echo died. Echo was a clone back in, I think, season 3, around like episode 15. They believed he was dead.
But if we don't see a body, we're in the Star Wars universe.
No body, no confirmation. So Cody believes, or excuse me, Rex believes that he takes a pretty big leap. He says, I think Echo has been captured by the Separatists. He's alive. He's the only one that knows that algorithm. He's the only one that can guess these moves. I think he's alive and they're using him. So that kind of sets up the big, what I imagine will be an arc now for the next few episodes.
Yeah. There was definitely a point where I was like, wait, is he complaining that they're just like learning what they're doing? He's like, every time we do something, they expect it the next time we do it. And it's like, yeah dude, that's how the world works. Like, that's just how things happen.
Seen a war before and do it differently.
Welcome to the fucking Clone Wars, my man.
They are becoming more relatable. You can hear them talking. They're talking about like sometimes like surviving a war is like how hard that is.
That thing with Rex looking at the picture like Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the one in his bed. It's clear though that we are moving towards different types of clones. And there's a thing that clicked in this episode for me, which I'll get to in a second, because the next thing that happens is they are going to now go infiltrate. They're going to go behind enemy lines, and they're going to attack the cyber center of the Separatists, and they're going to try to figure out how they're guessing right every single time, how big old arachnid, is that an arachnid? Is that what
I guess.
Spider? I don't know.
Probably something like
I'll just call him Trench.
Being like Mon Calamari.
I wish his name was Trent. Like he's he's like just a spider in like
wearing
khakis.
Fucking khakis and a crew neck.
Just Trent, the Separatist spider,
comes in, picks up luggage, leaves.
They need some reinforcements. They bring in Clone Force 99, and either Cody or Rex says nice touch, little nod to 99.
Yeah,
the
clone 99.
The clone who's defected. He wasn't fully formed like the Bad Batch, as they're called. They're right here. These guys, the Bad Batch, they're imperfect clones, but
awesome looking.
That kind of gives them an edge.
Yeah.
Because they're imperfect, but they're different, and they have... You called them super soldiers when we did our recap, basically.
Yeah, they're kind of super soldiers, Star Wars Suicide Squad.
Very Suicide Squad-like. Very Suicide Squad-like. But again, that's a nice little nod to 99, who does die. He's not able to go into battle, but he's a very valiant, brave clone. That's a story arc from I don't know,
for another time.
I want to say middle of the series of Clone Wars.
So,
99. Yeah. So nice little nod there. Again, so defective clones called the Bad Batch. You have
Great
Hunter.
name too, Bad Batch. Oh, so good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Hunter is the leader.
Yeah.
Looks like Rambo.
Or like Rambo, or I was thinking like if you had a Mr. Potato Head clone and you put on like Liu Kang's head from Mortal Kombat. He's got the red bandana, he's got the hair.
Mm-hmm. He's got Rambo vibes, but people apparently have said, I've seen this in multiple places, that Billy Soul from Predator is the inspiration for him.
Okay, that would
He's
make
got
sense.
the knife, so apparently that's the inspiration for Hunter. Wrecker, who's the strongman guy, the big.
Bro, this guy is straight Rob Riggle.
Big he is. He is rubber.
Boom! Booyah! Yeah!
Just punching people and breaking doors down. I like he didn't wait for the door.
We got it!
You're too fucking slow.
Yeah.
Then you have Crosshair, the marksman. Very
guy.
Deadshot-like.
Yeah.
Super Deadshot Suicide Squad vibes.
I'm always a marksman guy. When Borderlands or these games come out where it's like pick your guy, the brute, the genius, the marksman, I'm always the marksman.
We don't see enough snipers in Star Wars.
No.
We never have.
No, and that's why I like Scout Troopers so much.
Yeah, Mando was like really like the first live action we really saw with snipers.
We saw like the guy looking through the scope trying to hit Yoda. We saw a bunch of snipers.
Yeah, and then
flare going off.
So you have Hunter. All right, cool name. Yep. You got Wrecker, cool name, makes sense, big, bulky guy. Then you have Crosshair,
another
sniper,
cool name.
Very cool.
He's got the tattoo on his face.
Yep. Then you have the tech specialist. It's called Tech.
Tech.
They're just like, whatever. Like,
being that guy and being like, all right, man, I'm about to join the Bad Batch. Yeah. They all get 6 names. This is cool. What are they going to call me? I'm the tech guy. And they're like, we stopped that cool name thing.
We're out of nicknames.
1 name ago.
You're just tech. You're just tech guy. Also, I will say, Crosshair the marksman's got a toothpick, which I think is a nice touch.
Yeah.
It's
always nice when you get.
Yeah, he's a little slimy, but he's very on point. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I don't know what they did, but the Kaminoans fucked up in the cloning process. And we have these like super soldier defective clones.
Do you think he uses that toothpick and people are like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Fucking that molar always gives me issues with popcorn." Like, do they all have the exact same teeth?
Yeah. He just has a problem with food.
You know that fucking wisdom in the back there, and they're like, "Oh, duh."
He threw it at Commander Cody, or he threw it at Rex. One of them.
Oh yeah,
that's disrespectful.
Razor Ramon, hey yo.
Yeah, throwing the toothpick. What a dick. I didn't like that. Who do you think you are? So anyway, they're going into battle. The Bad Batch, they get shot down. Mm-hmm. Commander Cody gets hurt, so he's kind of out of commission for the battle. He's in a bit of pain.
They call like medic troops to help him out.
He has internal damage. Their ship gets shot down, and now they have droids coming after them because the ship explodes. And now their position has been revealed.
And just waves and waves and waves of droids.
A little bit of arguing back and forth. They say they're going to disperse, run away, but the Bad Batch is like, no, we go right at them.
Yep.
We don't wait. We go right at them. Cool tactics, like holding up the door of the ship,
throwing the grenade, shooting the grenade with a sniper to make like the shockwave go off. That was good. That was like they were bowling with it or something.
Spider droids come in, so they take all of them out. Just some crazy stuff. The Bad Batch calls regular clones regs.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
It's like Stool Team 6 with their simps.
But it's like they just learned. It's like they just learned the term, but they're also offended by it. Like they've known it for years. Like, hey, what are you calling us that for? It's like I was calling you regular troopers. Yeah. So they go attack them. Then they're going to disperse. They now kind of have a bit more of a plan going forward. There's a little arguing back and forth between. Even within the Bad Batch, I believe Marksman and Hunter are a little bit arguing, and they all kind of come together and like, no, we're on the same side here.
Yeah, but they all got egos. They all got their own personalities.
Yeah, we're clones. Like, they're clashing, but in the end, we're clones, and we have a mission here. We have to go to the Cyber Center. So they move on. They go to like an outpost, and they can look down, and they see the Cyber Center. They make their way to that Cyber Center. They attack it. Pretty cool battle between the droids.
Really good.
Reinforcements come in. The B-2 Super Battle Droids come in.
Once again, a sequence where like there were certain moments where they were staying on someone, and then they would follow another person. I was like, all right, like production value has been upped here.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, again, even just adding how many characters they have in the background.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. So while they're fending off the droids inside, Cody, I keep mixing up Cody and Rex. Rex is with Tech on the inside, and they're trying to figure out the source, or trying to just take the algorithm.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out like what happened here, what got copied, and they realize it's actually not in the database. It's being broadcast from a planet, Skako Minor, which has not been in any shows. It was going to be in Season 7 before it got canceled. It's in the comics. It's been referenced for in comics.
All right.
And they hear this broadcast, and Tech's like, that's like a human voice. Mm-hmm. Or that, like, what is that? It doesn't sound like
sounds like
a
you're on
computer.
like an AM radio trying to like sync it up.
So as they're fending off droids, it's starting to get a little too much. Marksman goes and Crosshair, the Marksman goes and steals a ship. He's going to go try to retrieve the rest of the Bad Batch and the clones and get on out of there. So as they're leaving, they finally figure out that it's a message, and they're like, hey, who is this? And it's just one voice over and over again saying CT 1409, which is the birth date of Echo.
Haunting.
So it is Echo. It is very haunting. He's very clearly being controlled.
Yep.
Somehow, some way, whether he got turned into a machine, you don't know.
Yeah.
But he was captured by the Separatists.
Just kept saying C21409.
Yeah.
C21409, and Rex is there like, holy fuck.
He's like, he's broadcasting out the algorithm. He's helping out.
And Echo
the
even,
Separatists.
or Rex even brought it up at one point. Like, I think maybe Echo's a lot of people like, you are crazy.
Yeah.
That guy is big dead. Nope.
Not at all.
Not.
Not one bit. He was not crazy. His fears were realized, and then they all escape unarmed, or excuse me, unharmed. They're not unarmed.
No, they are armed.
They're very armed. They're unharmed. They escape. They make their way back to base camp. You see, Rex is pretty distraught.
Oh, he's shaking. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really fucked up now from this. And then one of the other last things we see, Trench gets the news that the algorithm has been discovered.
Yeah.
They found out his secrets. They were cheating all. The Astros were cheating all along.
Mike and Sully.
Fucking analytics.
Yeah.
Star Wars Moneyball, baby. So yeah, that's kind of the episode. Cool episode.
Good episode. Good.
A lot of action.
Yeah.
Again, they alluded.
Not a lot of Anakin and Obi-Wan, which I was kind of craving, but I like clone stuff, so I was okay with it.
I do think towards the end we're gonna get such a big chunk with Anakin and Ahsoka and all that. They're like we're gonna get a Padme episode, so I'm cool with it. Right. What do you think? Bingeable? Like, do you wish it was bingeable, or are you happy it's still one by one?
This show I sort of do wish was bingeable, but I think that's also because, like, that's how I knew watching the Clone Wars before this.
That's true.
I would binge it, and I would watch like arcs at a time. I would watch this arc, this arc. At least like if they would have put out the Bad Batch arc, maybe if the season was longer, if they would have done a full length 20-episode season.
It's 12 episodes, which is more than Mandalorian. So this is, we're gonna have this for 12 weeks now, which is great. But I will like I thought like I wish I could.
Yeah, for us it's great. For these episodes, for these shows, it's great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
but it's like. It is the last season, so I feel like if I did binge it and it was over, I'd be like,
true.
Man. So I'm okay with the 12 weeks of this.
Yeah.
Easter eggs. Obviously, Tom came back as the narrator opening.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's such a distinct, unique
Here
thing
we
in Star
are.
Wars. Yeah,
it's the Clone Wars.
Hearing that voice is awesome. D. Bradley Baker back voiced all the clones in the episode.
Shout out to this guy. He pretty much fucking did the episode.
Voiced the computer.
Guy literally just sat in a chair in front of a mic and recorded.
Voiced Admiral
the premiere.
Trench. We're calling him Admiral Trent now.
Admiral Trent.
He's just Admiral Trent. Until he dies, Admiral Trent.
Someone needs to make us like a really good.
I'm going to Photoshop him in khakis.
Yeah. You got to make that.
And in a black crew neck. Matt Lantern back as Anakin, which we knew, but I just want to note that Matt Lantern, if you forgot, was the rebel who dies on the prison. Yeah, the egghead rebel who dies on the Bill Burr episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, cool to hear him back. He does a great Anakin. Very good Anakin.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about Clone Force 99. They said, nice touch. That's about the defected clones. Republic gunships are back. The low-altitude assault transport, LATs. I love those ships. They sound so cool.
They're good ships. They look like the little paper clips with the things going out.
It just sounds like the prequels.
Yeah.
Spider droids, DSD-1 dwarf spider droids make their return.
You know, I don't even like spider droids.
You don't like them?
They don't freak me out as much as a regular spider would, but there is just a little thing about them that I'm like, eh.
Other ship I saw, Rebel Transport Speeder.
I saw that as well, yeah.
Just that really, George Lucas didn't have a lot of money left in the budget, made a shitty thing that is now iconic looking.
Yeah.
We saw them on Yav, and they've been in everything.
I noticed that.
I saw that thing fly, but I love that.
Yeah.
It's such a nice, Filoni puts little touches.
That's so Filoni, just like, throw one of those in there.
Again, if we talk about Mandalorian, it's not the stuff like in, again, I like Rogue One, but it's not the stuff like in Rogue One, like, 3PO and R2 are here. It's Star Wars. No. Filoni puts in the little touches. He just knows how to do the Easter eggs and make them subtle.
He makes like the aura feel like Star Wars. You know how bilingual people say that sometimes they'll think in Spanish or they'll think in English or they'll think in whatever? Filoni, like, I think he thinks in Star Wars more than he thinks in English. So that's like second nature to him. Like, and then you'll throw one of those transports and someone's like, oh, what a nice touch. And he's like, oh, I didn't even realize that was a nice touch. I just figured that would be there.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. Skako Minor we mentioned. We haven't seen much of that planet. I assume we will at some point. I'd imagine that's where Echo is. I think that's what they said anyway. That is where he is. So we'll get that new planet. The Bad Batch talked about a species called Yalbics or Yalbaks, which sounds like an insect droid because there's like a queen who had a stinger.
I heard that,
That's never been a species.
They were like, they cut off the queen's stinger and they all came from...
I assume that was like a species that maybe we saw in the cantina or something.
I thought it was something like the Geonosians.
Brand new.
Wow.
So we haven't seen any. Maybe we'll never see them, but just a brand new species.
I hope we don't see them.
2 more Easter eggs. 2 droids. The T-Series tactical droids, which we've never seen in live action. They're like kind of lame droids. like they're not great. I think they can fire, if I do recall, but they're mostly just like information droids.
Yeah, they're a middleman. They're an assistant droid.
Fun little Easter egg, though, and an even more, I think, touching nod is that one of those droids was once called K2B4 and had a purple and yellow paint scheme in honor of Kobe Bryant. This is years ago, obviously.
KB,
Rest in peace.
Yep.
Pretty cool. I would kind of like to see if they brought that back. I know they've actually already made the series, but you could always kind of
I wonder if it's too late. I don't know.
Might be. I don't know. But I do.
Copy and paste.
They've done it before. But like you don't see many sports nods in Star Wars.
True.
So we have talked about we want the gambling on pod racing.
Yeah, there's a few weird ones. There's a few even. What's the? There's a planet named after. Who was it? The late night host that Obi-Wan is from. George Lucas just went back and Jon Stewart.
Really?
Obi-Wan is from a planet called Stew John. Because live on Jon Stewart, he was like, "Hey, can you name a planet after me?"
I didn't
and
know
he was
that.
like, "Yeah, sure." Obi-Wan was born on Stew
Yeah,
John, and then it became canon.
John. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, forgot it was Jon Stewart for a sec, but that is
I
correct.
do want the pod racing gambling. I also
imagine Barstool bets pod racing.
Remember in the Attack of the Clones when they go down to like the depths of Coruscant. There's also that one like football game too.
Oh yeah, it's like robot football.
Yeah, it's just robot football.
Yeah.
And then finally BX series droids. There's like the Commando like stealth battle droids. They're a lot smarter.
Cool.
They're sharpshooters. They're fucking badass.
Yeah.
I want to see those in live action.
Yeah, especially after seeing how cool the battle droids looked in The Mandalorian.
I think battle droids are going to pop up in Mando. I do. I think like really old decommit. I don't know.
People are like repurposing them or something.
Yeah, I think we may see the BX series droids. Questions. Don't have many questions. Also pulled one comment from Reddit. The main question we got was, this is from Ray_SEAKAN. Will the Bad Batch remove their chips or will they attack Rex and the Jedi? So this is a big thing because Rex has the Order 66 chip in his head. He knows about it or is very aware about it at this point. He is going to take that out at some point.
Yep.
In our preview, we talked about how Rex will be on Mandalore for the Siege of Mandalore with Ahsoka. The Siege of Mandalore takes place during Order 66. So it has to happen because we know in Rebels his chip is removed.
Yep.
I find that interesting because the Bad Batch, are they going to be able to kind of avoid Order 66? What's their involvement with Order 66?
It would be interesting if maybe because they're defected, like their chips are all fried for some reason, and like they sort of like they feel something, but it doesn't completely go off. They don't act on it, but I don't know. I think it would be more intriguing if they didn't.
If they didn't do Order 66?
Yeah, because there's something about them right now that's like, they could be a little shady still. You know what I mean? There's still a little infighting. There's still
I don't think the Bad Batch is going to fuck with Order 66.
I don't think they should.
Not that they're going to save the Jedi. I don't think they're going to care. I think it's like that's just we have our own thing.
Maybe.
We do what we want.
I was thinking they sort of like save the day.
Okay.
For like maybe one Jedi.
Might be the case.
Maybe they go down with the ship. Maybe they're like, "Fuck it, we'll save you." Because
I would like that. I would like.
I don't know.
That's a great speculative question though, because we will find it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that it's rare. It's rare with anything.
Like the prequels.
Anything in Clone Wars, though, it's rare with like the prequels because for the most part, like Anakin's Darth Vader.
Yep.
You know what happens. This one we don't. There's a story gap.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens.
Characters we've never met. We don't know what happens to them after this. Yeah.
The rare prequel that can still work and you learn new things. Mandalorian does the same thing. And then this is a Reddit comment from the Star Wars Reddit from user StrongFoam. It just says, "LOL, rip the gunship pilot."
Yeah, nobody checked on him.
Nobody give a shit about him at all.
Guy just fucking flipped the thing over.
Yeah, I mean, they don't give a fuck about that guy.
Yeah, rest in peace. Pour one out. That guy. You could throw a little graphic. Throw like a clone.
I will. I'll throw it up.
We know what he looks like.
Yeah, yeah, we do. Yeah, it's just what's his face. It's CGI Tamora Morrison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. I have a big thought at the end here. I have a thought on the Bad Batch and their connection to the clones and how the clones progress in Stormtroopers. Obviously, Stormtroopers slowly become regular people.
Yep.
They're no longer clones. And as we see with the Bad Batch, they have something different to all of them. They're not of the same cut. Obviously, some clones are better than other clones, right? Like, we've seen that. Like, that's why some are in the position they are. But for the most part, they're very similar.
Yep.
The Bad Batch is different. Different skills, different tactics. I think the Republic begins to notice that. And that is a big reason as to why they move to regular humans as stormtroopers. I don't know if that's part of the storyline.
No, but that makes sense.
I think the Bad Batch is a bit of a hint to the Republic. They're like at least the part of the Republic that becomes part of it, like an Imperial officer. Like shit, the Bad Batch, they were better.
I hadn't.
They were unpredictable.
Yeah,
because the clones become predictable.
They can't download their data. Yeah.
I think the Bad Batch is a key to why stormtroopers become who they are. I know, like Commander Cody has in it, like he sees them being phased out. Like there's a lot of storylines with clone troopers who then convert to Imperial stormtroopers. They see the phasing out of clones. I think the Bad Batch is a key to that.
I think that's a good way to look at it.
That was the first thing that popped into my head because clones are going to develop a lot in this series.
Yeah,
you're going to see them either break off or continue to be with the Empire, with Imperialism and the Republic factions off.
Are there just a bunch of like Tamora Morrisons running around?
Yeah. How many Tamora Morrisons are? I hope Tamora Morrison's in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
At some point.
See him in the background?
Why not? Like there's got to be a couple.
There's got to be.
Even though Rex is a big dude in Rebels, and Rebels does take place a long time before. But there were young clones before.
There's got to be some Tamora Morrisons.
There has to be a Tamora Morrison running around.
Got to be.
Just hanging out.
Cool to see.
He knows he's Baby Yo.
Like, oh shit, that's a clone.
Daps up Baby Yo. Yo, what up? Hey, Tamora Morrison. That's his first
Yoda
words.
says that, yeah.
Tamora Morrison.
We knew each other back in the day.
That's it. Anything else?
I don't think so.
That's it. Cool first episode.
Good first episode. Yeah, I like seeing the clones. Hopefully,
the animation is so fucking awesome.
Yeah. Going forward, let's see some lightsabers, but for now, I'm good.
There's also this like weird haired person. I don't know who this person is.
She looks like Woody Harrelson's love interest in Solo.
Yeah. The one they killed off in like 5 minutes?
5 minutes. Expected us to care about her.
We've talked about Solo more in the last 2 days filming the recap of the series in this first episode than I've talked about in my life.
Agreed.
Tobias Beckett.
Let's not talk about it anymore.
All right, that's it. We'll have 3 people next time. But next Friday, Friday the 28th, we will recap episode 2 of Clone Wars. Make sure to hit the like button. Let us know in the comments, too. What's the next step? What do you think about the Bad Batch? What did you like? What did you didn't like?
Are they going to remove their chips?
Just give us some initial comments and when the chips get removed from the clones. Let us know what you think. If you're on YouTube, again, like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You know when our episodes come out next. We will talk about Clone Wars episode 2 next week. For Robbie, I'm Jeff Lowe. We will talk to you next time.